He loves them. He won't give up on it. And he's not going to change the rules of the game either. He's not going to take away their free will. He's big enough to steer things in the direction he wants it to go. And he's committed to the original plan because ultimately he wants us with him.
Let's dive right in. It's a big book. Old Testament's long and complicated, so I would love to jump right in. How does Dr. Heiser sum up what is the Old Testament?
The Old Testament is the story of God's interest in humanity, specifically, once you get past Genesis 11, the story of the Hebrews. And the Hebrews, of course, are ultimately the descendants of Abraham. We call them the Israelites because, Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Jacob is going to have his name changed to Israel. So, in a nutshell, that is the Old Testament. If you begin in Genesis 1, what does God want? God wants a family. We know from Job that God already had beings with him before creation, before the Old Testament's description of the creation of the world and humans. The sons of God, these spiritual beings, are with God already. And so basically, God wants the same thing in embodied form. He wants a human family. He has to create a place for them to live. That's why we get creation. They cannot come to him. He has to go to them. That's why we get Eden with all the cosmic mountain divine abode language from the ancient Near East used to describe Eden, the Garden of Eden. And, God comes to man. He wants human children and human partners to enjoy the things he makes and to participate with him in just doing things he wants to do. And the Old Testament records that goes very wrong very quickly. And God wasn't surprised because he has shared his attributes with both humans and supernatural beings. And so he knows they can fail. He knows they can choose to rebel because while they are like him, they are not him. They lack his perfect nature. But God would rather have a world in which evil surfaces and there is suffering than to not have either family at all. Okay? And so the Old Testament basically picks up on what God wants. God wants us. He wants a family. And tells that story. And it gets funneled, through this one family, this one, people, that he has to intervene amid all the chaos to basically start over again. And he does that with Abraham and Sarah and creates Israel, the Hebrews out of that. And so the story picks up from chapter 12 on with their story, which morphs into the story of including people outside Israel. And that, of course, is going to dovetail and bleed into the New Testament, where we get God's resolution of the human failures, the covenants he's made with people to sort of, keep kickstarting the plan. God never gives up on the original plan. Despite all the evil and chaos, he is committed to his decision to create these beings, humans and otherwise. He loves them. He won't give up on it. And he's not going to change the rules of the game either, midstream. He's not going to take away their free will. He's neither going to destroy them or alter them so that they are no longer like him. He's big enough to steer things in the direction he wants it to go, and he's committed to the original plan because ultimately he wants us with him. That's the Old Testament.